All right, some headlines for you this hour. It looks like the World Cup in 2034 will be held in Saudi Arabia after Australia decided against bidding for the tournament. Last year's competition in Qatar was the first time it had taken place midway through the season in Europe. Liverpool assistant coach Pep Lijnders says they're praying the authorities can find the father of Luis Diaz, who was kidnapped in Colombia. A major search operation is underway in the country with a £40,000 reward on offer for information leading to his rescue. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has indicated Declan Rice will play against his former club West Ham in the League Cup tomorrow night. The England international made the switch across London to the Emirates for £105 million in the summer. Arteta says the odds are that we'll see Rice in action. All right, Rory, you know I want to talk about, by the way, very quickly, all of a sudden, I'm not going to say it's a bargain because that's kind of what you say, I don't do that. But Declan Rice for £105 million, all of a sudden, no one's talking about the price tag anymore, are they? No one. No one says. No one mentions it.
I think it's fair to call it a bargain.
It's not a bargain. 105 can't be a bargain.
No, of course it can in football terminology. It's not a bargain because what you're doing is you're making £100 million relate to everyday life, which is ludicrous because football is existing in this false microeconomy that is fairly hateful. Mm. And in that false microeconomy that's fairly hateful, Declan Rice represents a bargain. Yeah. It's not the way I want football to be. I don't want 100... No,
the fact that no one talks about it, like I continue to talk about Caicedo, but the fact that no one talks about it, I think everyone's already...
Basically, they've got one of the best midfielders in the world, I believe the second best midfielder in the league, for 100 million in his position. He's the second best.
Got him for another 7 years at the lick he's
exactly.
playing right now.
Yeah. Is Declan Rice the second best in his position in the world?
I don't know about the world. In the Premier League,
in your definition of the world, what you know of football, can you think of anybody that plays his position better than him, apart from Rodri? No, I agree. No. And therefore, 100 million for the second best by our definition in the world is a good. It's a bargain.
We will. All right, we'll talk a bit more of Arsenal later. We are going to hear from Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. Let's talk about Liverpool, who have had a good start to the season. Currently, fourth in the Premier League? Fourth in the Premier League, isn't it? Yeah, it's fourth in the Premier League. No, it's fourth. Can we get a table up very quickly?
I think I'm on it. Bear with me. Hold the line caller.
No, it is fourth. I'm correct. Yeah, should have trusted my instincts. Obviously, just the one defeat so far. That was the Spurs. Obviously, that very, very controversial game.
Just a point behind Man City.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's not bad. When you think of the teams best placed to challenge Man City, because Man City still are favourites to win the Premier League, are you now thinking Ange can have a real go at Spurs, or are you thinking Liverpool is still best placed? Because I know you've kind of switched between Liverpool and Arsenal this season.
I still think Liverpool will win the league. Sorry, I still think...
Oh, yeah, stay there.
No. I still think I still think Arsenal win the league. I'd rather Liverpool win it, but I still think Arsenal are likely to win
Arsenal,
the league.
You think are best placed then to challenge City?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so, but I would also say that Liverpool are certainly contenders, and it's getting to the stage now, as much as I would like to rule Tottenham out, as much as I would like to say, the history of the Tottenham teaches that this isn't going to happen and they haven't won a league since 61. I think we have a responsibility when we discuss football to almost play the cards that we've been dealt. And Tottenham have played 10 games, they've won 8, they're undefeated and they sit top of the league. So it would be slightly foolish of us to not at least put them in the running. I just think that it represents the Premier League so well. It shows you what dominance Manchester City have. The fact that a team that have played so well as Tottenham, a team that are unbeaten, and a team that currently sit top of the league after 10 games, which is more than a quarter of the way through the season, right, aren't seen as being contenders.
No, you're right, but it's because it's not like there's a 9-point gap. Like you draw one if you're Spurs and Man City win one, they're right back. Do you know what I mean? So anything can change in the next game. I think that's probably why we still think Spurs maybe could fall off. Why don't you think Liverpool are best placed to challenge City? What's missing? I'll give my view, but as an outsider looking in, what do you think?
I don't think that the defence is strong enough, and I don't think that the midfield is strong enough. I think that you are capable of winning it. I think that you're capable of accruing a tally that could be title-worthy. I think that you're going to get out of trouble a lot because that front 4 or 5 will just get you out of jail. So many goals in that team, so many brilliant strikers in that team that you will score enough goals. Yeah. I just think that there is a vulnerability in the midfield. I think that you're so heavily reliant on one new signing who as brilliant as he's been, I would be surprised if he can keep this form up for an entire season. And I also think that the back line is shaky, really. I don't think Robertson's the player that he was. I don't rate Trent in the right back berth.
Wait, so we have no midfield. You think our defence is not great?
I think your defence is vulnerable, yes. I think you'll concede. I think Liverpool will concede a lot of goals. I think they'll get out of trouble.
Really?
I think that Liverpool will get out of trouble because they They'll get out of trouble because they have so many goal scorers.
Yeah, and maybe we'll get out of trouble because I think, and you might correct me on this, I think we're the best goalkeeper in the world.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You always have a chance when you've got a goal.
When we've got a goalkeeper that good and you've got a striker.
But who plays alongside Van Dijk?
Konate.
Is Konate... How good is Konate?
Good.
Yeah.
It's not exceptional.
Okay, so as a back line, let's do it as a back line.
Yeah.
Still Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk. Is that what it's...
Yeah.
It doesn't fill me with being particularly stingy. It doesn't feel particularly miserly. It doesn't feel particularly solid.
What it is, though, is particularly experienced.
Yes.
Very experienced.
Like Trent Alexander-Arnold, for whatever you want to call him, he isn't a very good defender. And that's a vulnerability in that back line. I don't think Andy Robertson has hit the heights of a few years ago now. So that's a problem. Van Dijk isn't the player that he was when you won the league.
He almost doesn't have to be. Because I look at him as something different now. I look at him as someone that organises the back line as opposed to being the guy he once was. That
I mean, you won the league once when he was the best player in the world, arguably. Yeah. It took him to be the best player in the world for you to eclipse Man City.
8 players to be the best player.
Yeah.
There was like 8 players in the world that was the best players in the
Van
world.
Van Dijk was look, in various positions. Andy Robertson was the best left back that year. Yeah. But across the whole team, Van Dijk was the best player in the world, arguably.
No, you're right. Look,
and it took that to win the league.
No, as much as I would love us to sort of be there or thereabouts, and I still think that we'll be there or thereabouts. I don't think we have enough of world-class players in their positions to win the league. Like, as you mentioned, when Liverpool won the league, you could make an argument to say Sadio Mane was the best left-sided forward in the world.
Well, he was. And then he became... I mean,
everyone went about... There was an argument about Fabinho being one of the best.
Jordan Henderson was the best captain in the world at the time.
This is it. So we had everything. We had everything. And Jurgen Klopp was firing. So we lack that right now. And look, I don't think we're going to be sort of fighting for it unless we get another sort of number 6, because McAllister's playing that position for Liverpool right now, and it's a bit unfair on him what I'm about to say, but he clearly can't play that position, and that's not his fault. He didn't play that position at Brighton. He's been almost asked to play that position because we haven't brought in a central defensive midfielder. We tried to get Lavia, we tried to get Caicedo, and we brought in Endo, who's obviously not... He's not going to win you the league, Endo. And so McAllister's having to play that. And every time he plays, he's awful. He's not that bad, is it? Is it awful? He has no... You know, I was watching Declan Rice the other day, and I can't remember who skipped past Declan Rice. Someone skipped past him. His recovery power to get back was just insane.
Yeah. Like he's a warrior, Declan Rice.
You skip past McAllister, you skipped past him. And it's because Liverpool play that high line. If you skip past him, you're in on goal. So there's no one to cover, and we're struggling badly, and we're getting away with it in games.
So what's interesting here is, though, Addy, have you not... You asked me at the beginning of this segment, can Liverpool win the league? And when I sort of tried to explore why they can't, you pushed back. I feel like in this summary, you've effectively told me why they can't win the league by accident.
But I'm doing it by one. I think you've done it by... You said 4 or 5 reasons. My one is just we don't have that central defensive midfielder. Like, I actually think the defence is competent enough to be stingy because of its experience, and I think Alisson helps it. And we've got enough going forward, as you mentioned. I think it's that one, because I think if you had that one central defensive midfielder sitting alongside McAllister in his real position, and Szoboszlai, I think there's enough there to kind of be there or thereabouts towards the end. Yes. Again, just because of the experience of winning it before.
Just to point it out, there are only 2 teams aside from Liverpool that can win the league.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Liverpool have conceded more goals, only by a little bit, but Liverpool have conceded more goals than both of them already.
How many? Have you got it in front of you?
Yes, I have. So Liverpool have conceded 9.
Yeah.
Man City have conceded 7. Arsenal have conceded 8.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not bad. It's just a demonstration that you've conceded more goals.
Yeah, but especially when you look at the back line of Arsenal, for example. I mean, that's a back line. That 4. Yeah. It's basically 4 centre-backs, by the way. They're playing as, it is like...
Also, you've also got to remember that Liverpool were robbed of 3 points. Well, certainly a point. Yeah. So no, I do...
So we really could have been unbeaten so far this season.
Yes. Yeah, I do think that you are capable. I just don't think you'll do it. Like, on no definition, whatever I imagine could happen this season, I don't really see it going Liverpool's way.
Just because of the power of the other teams and what we lack. Yeah. What have you made of Mr. Gravenberch this season?
I think he's good. I
hate the way you just did that.
Do you know what I think it is?
What you just did there. I think he's good.
I just think that there's a real difficulty in a brand new midfield landing and winning a league in their debut season. This time next year, with a few more tweaks here and there, I think that Liverpool could be almost one of the favourites.
Yeah.
You know, if maybe another defender is brought in, if maybe another goal scorer is brought in, I think that Liverpool could go into a season as favourites for the league, which is a huge statement, by the way.
You are correct. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. It is a brand new
It's
midfield.
a brand new midfield. I just don't believe... This could be one of those, Alan Hansen, you don't win anything with kids, but I don't believe you win anything with a brand new midfield. Particularly a midfield that hasn't... Gravenberch has been fine. Alexis McAllister, by your own admission, has been poor. And Szoboszlai has been fantastic, but then I believe there's a question as to whether he can play to that level. You're asking a lot from Szoboszlai to land in a new league and ultimately, if he keeps this form up, being Team of the Year.
Yeah.
It's rare for somebody in a brand new league to do that at that age.
Saw Haaland do it.
Yeah. The reason that you can roll that rolls off the tongue is because it's an anomaly. He also did it in one of the most functioning machines. You know, if Szoboszlai had landed and joined Fabinho and Henderson... Agreed.
Even if one of them stayed.
Yeah.
Even if Thiago was still fit.
Yeah.
Like, if anything... You know what I mean? But you're right. He's landing and he has almost had to become our Steven Gerrard
immediately.
Exactly. Yeah, and it probably won't happen.